Let's talk about that bill for just a second. You are a supporter, as you mentioned, you're not part of the House of Representatives. Do you have concerns in part that ESG considerations were a barrier to getting the best returns for public funds?
Correct. And it's that over time. And as you characterize the bills, I would say mostly we're focused on a non or neutral ESG world. We simply want to look at a case where we don't discriminate for or against based on those criteria. We simply want to look at what the best returns were. And that was my history in financial services and building and working with the models for over 20 years to build our efficient portfolios. As your world is, it's about the numbers.
All right, so you're obviously very well versed in the world of finance. Generally, people that manage portfolios, they have a fiduciary responsibility to get the best returns if they're using ESG or if they're not. So where's this concern coming from? Do you not trust these different managers to fulfill their fiduciary responsibility?
Well, I think that's true as we look across the market. And every moment that the market is open, it's working to determine the price as they look at risk and return. That has happened for decades. It's something we've relied on in America and something I think we can continue to rely on. As we add policy objectives, it doesn't make an objective right or wrong, but I can't increase the return on my portfolio by adding constraints. I can only do that by adding value along the chain at some point. Therefore, as we look to how this impacts both contracts and portfolios, we want to make sure that we're simply looking at what's the greatest return that we can achieve for our clients this year and over time. How do the measures taken by managers affect that value? And how does that affect the way we're investing in the market? And that becomes important when we look at the passive structure that we apply to domestic equities.
All right, this bill also addresses any kind of investing that might work against the interest of Kansas-based companies. Why was that so important in this bill?
Well, it deals largely with proxy voting. The bill addresses two things that the legislature worked to do. And as you said, there are a variety of things that could be addressed. What lawmakers work to do is figure out what are the key steps that we want to take in Kansas to address issues, which were specifically with contracting and proxy voting. So as we worked through that, when we look at the proxy votes, those need to be in the best interest of returns. And the second piece is, if we're neutral on that, what's in the best interest of Kansas and our dollars? To drill just a little deeper, if we look at proxy voting and we look at what happened in the Exxon case, as a passive investor, fossil fuels are roughly 9% of the Russell 3000. If we decrease the value of ExxonMobil or those stocks, we are going to hold them until they potentially go out of the system. Again, if we try and change that focus, it is hard to be efficient. It is hard to drive the returns that our great companies drive every day. And putting more difficulty on them makes it ever harder to be able to achieve that. Should that stock decrease in value, should it eventually cease to exist, we need to change our strategy or vote our shares in a manner that reflect our strategy and consider that before the position is taken.
You know, Stephen, while we have you here, if you don't mind, can we address a big macro issue, the debt ceiling? How are you preparing for the possibility of a deal not being reached? Obviously, it's a very contentious issue in D.C.
Very contentious issue in D.C. That affects us somewhat there. It affects us even more as we look to our pooled money and managing the state's cash, trying to look at time frame. Optimistic that a deal will be reached. It is often contentious. There is a lot of positioning that goes on in that process. But the key on handling the debt ceiling is looking at what do we allocate to start with. We've got to make sure that our spending and revenues are in line, regardless of where we are. Once we have committed those dollars, we're committed to pay for it. So I hope that our lawmakers are able to work together and make that as seamless as possible so that our economy and our companies and cash flow can continue to work.